Valley Voices, brought to you by Coit. Their commitment to help families as well as businesses enjoy healthier, safer environments hasn't changed since they first opened over 70 years ago. Welcome everybody, I'm John Peineck with the Mojave Valley Daily News. I am joined today by Dave Heath. Dave is the Park and Recreation Superintendent here in Bullhead City. Dave,
John,
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming down. We really appreciate it. Dave is very well known in our community, but we're going to dig a little deeper today to find out more about him. So,
okay.
First of all, you are born and raised here, huh?
Not quite. I was born in Yuma. I think I was about 8 months old when my mom and dad moved here to. My dad was the editor and publisher of the newspaper way back in the day when it was twice a week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so 47 of the 48 years I've been here.
Joe Heath, your father,
Yep.
is one of the more influential people in our community back in the day. I know that he was a big part of getting the Chamber of Commerce built and a lot of the cities, the way I understand it. Does that seem pretty accurate?
Well, he was involved. You know, he was friends with all the right people, and he helped out where he could. Things like Community Park and the Chamber of Commerce. He was part of the Rotary Club and the Chamber Board and everything, and he liked being involved with what's going on in the community. I think his biggest passion over those years was the hospital and working with Baptist hospitals to get them to town finally and opening a hospital. And I think he was excited to be part of the Legacy Foundation after Baptist Hospital sold.
And the Legacy Foundation was really created after they took the proceeds from the hospital and it went over there. And that's still what they're working on today.
That's right. Yeah, the interest off of that.
It's crazy, huh?
It does great things for the community. It's nice.
Speaking of Joe Heath, let's talk about little Joe Heath, your son. He's off playing, is it D3 basketball?
He's playing junior college basketball still, strangely enough, because it's his third year in college, but his first year went great, and second year it was going even better. First 3 games in, he blew out his knee, so he sat rest of that season out, and then that school discontinued basketball. He got picked up by Scottsdale Community College, was ready to go there, and then at the end of last semester, Maricopa County shut down junior college basketball, and then the coach at Pima called him, and now he's at Pima College in Tucson, and he's had his first 3 games canceled. And tonight is hopefully, knock on wood, please, going to be his first game this season and his first game in well over a year now, too. So he'll be really excited.
I'm guessing he got his basketball skills from his mom?
Yeah, absolutely. You ought to see her handle the rock. She's no slouch.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we kind of, and I have it written on here, family royalty. I think the Heaths, but especially when you talk about athletics. We had another Heath a week ago as our athlete of the week, Alyssa. It's your niece?
That's right.
Yeah. So, and then her sister
Kylie
is also, she's a senior over there. She's can handle herself on the basketball court as well.
Just found out this morning that they had a rough game last night, but currently, state of Arizona, 6A to 1A, Alyssa is the number 4 scorer in the state, and Kylie is leading the state in assists. So
that's a good combination.
Yeah.
From one dish to the other.
It works out pretty well.
Yeah, well, we saw some highlights during her Athlete of the Week thing. We saw the two of them working together quite a bit, and both of them are very talented. Do you think they're going to move on and play at the next level?
I sure hope so. I know they're going to have opportunities to do that. So.
That's great. Well, we got a pile of things to talk to you about as far as being the Park and Rec Superintendent. So let's just start with kind of an overview. I think that a lot of us know that the Park and Rec does like softball. But as I'm going through the list of things that you're responsible for, I was shocked. Can you just go over what you envision your role as superintendent is?
Well, it's a combination of both, Parks and Recreation, just making it all happen for the community. And it's not just us making recreation happen for the community, but it's working with the community to make recreation happen. That's the really neat thing about Bullhead City and this general area. Mm-hmm. I've got all these parks in our community. We've got all these parks in our community. And the majority of all of that was built by you talked about my dad earlier, but Dan Ayler and the people that were involved in the community,
Rotary.
Ken Fovarg, he was a firefighter who was on the Parks and Rec Commission, who was also a member of the Kiwanis Club, and these people got involved in building parks for our community. We had this BLM land that we had these leases on, and so we didn't have to buy anything. It was just a matter of doing the work to make something happen. Rotary Club built a 10-acre soccer field, and that was the first thing that happened in Rotary Park, and that's why it's called Rotary Park. And then, gosh, 30 years later, you can see how it's grown.
Yeah.
And it's nice that we have so much community participation in everything we do in Parks and Recreation, from building the parks to bringing the events. I mean, gosh, you know all about Cornfest and stuff like that. I mean, and we're here to work with those groups and to do stuff ourselves. I mean, we run the pool. We run, right now we're running youth basketball league. So, the typical Parks and Rec kind of thing that you think about, we do that too.
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people don't really understand is that you run, let's say, community park. You oversee the care and maintenance and everything at community park. But when events happen, like Farmers Market or Oktoberfest or any of those things, you're the guy that we come to say, hey, we need help with, fencing, or we need help with this or that, things that the organizers really need help with in order to make it successful. So we appreciate, I know that I've worked with you several times on different events, and it's always been you sitting in the meeting and me going, Dave, can we get help with this? Yep. How about this? We'll take care of that. Yep. It's you made it super easy on it. So
to your credit, you're always very organized. So I appreciate that. It helps a lot.
I appreciate that. So let's talk. Well, how many parks first of all?
10 parks.
10 parks. And so we know the Rotary in the community, but there's a lot of them, a little bit smaller one. The Nature Center, does that fall under you as well?
Colorado River Nature Center, yeah, that's cooperatively managed between BLM, Game and Fish, and the city of Bullhead. They kind of own the land, but we do all the work.
Take care of it for them,
yeah.
The pool with the splash pad there.
Yep.
The beaches. That falls under your
Rotary
as well.
Park and Ken Fovarg Park, and the Nature Center too with the beaches.
Sporting events. So we're talking the senior games. We're talking all of the big soccer tournaments. All those things are things that you and your crew take care of. Special events like Oktoberfest and Cornfest and that. You also manage the Sunlink Center. That falls under your thing.
Yeah.
Walking paths and trails. I was talking to Jackie Walker, your interim recreation manager, before this, and she had mentioned, I asked her about the bridge, the walking bridge that they're putting up over there. And while it goes from the county park up there over into Laughlin, it's still something that you guys are involved in?
That's right. It's going to be another one of those situations where it gets built and they're going to give it to us and we'll take care of it. And I'm excited. It's going to be a really, really neat amenity for this community.
What is the length of I know the reports have been out there about where it starts. It goes all the way through Davis Camp, over the water, and then back down the Heritage Trail over there. Do you know what the total length is going to be?
It's going to be in the area of 7 miles. But it's going to connect to the 7 miles on the other side, and we're almost 7 miles there. It's going to end up being a half marathon, and that's going to be something that people can do in the future.
So you could start at one end, run down across the water, and down to the other end, and totally it's a half marathon.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're going to have to do an event once it's open.
I think that's what people have in mind, yeah.
Do you have a scheduled date, roughly?
No, that darn COVID, it messes with everything. I mean, it was supposed to have been done in November.
Oh, really?
But it got pushed back, and it's pushed back. I'm hoping, personally, that it's, not to put pressure on anybody out there, but I'd like to see it done by May.
You heard it. Get it done by May.
That's the federal government we're
May
talking
of this
to
year?
right now, yeah.
Oh, well.
Never mind.
I'm not sure that's going to happen, but that's awesome. Farmers Market is also your baby. I know you have people that are the boots on the ground taking care of it, but it falls under your thing as well.
Yeah.
And the walking bridge. I understood this morning that there are going to be some changes going on down at the pool. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, number one is we just hired a new recreation supervisor, and my recreation supervisors are the position just below recreation manager that are really, nuts and bolts, boots on the ground, doing the work out there. And we just hired the recreation supervisor for the pool, and her name's Kara Kaplan, and she's great. She's got a lot of experience. She comes to us from YMCA background, and she's already out there getting our staff trained up and getting ready for summer. And it's exciting to have somebody there that I feel is going to be there for a long time and is really dedicated to aquatics and building a great staff and building, things like kids that are 6 years old on the swim team. She wants to see them grow up in the pool and become junior lifeguards and become guards and water safety instructors and things like that. She's got a really good plan, and I'm excited to have her on our team.
That's awesome. When did you bring her on board?
3 weeks ago it's been now.
So she should be full steam right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everything's flying right ahead.
Totally
She's
up to
totally
speed.
integrated.
Yep.
Yeah, good. All right, we're going to take a break here for a second. We've got a Coit commercial. We'll be back with more with Dave Heath.
When Lou Kern opened Coit in 1950, times were certainly different. While things have changed, one thing hasn't. Our commitment to help families, as well as businesses, enjoy healthier, safer environments. Our independently certified technicians clean, protect, and preserve carpets, upholstery, hardwood floors, natural stone surfaces, air ducts, tile and grout, and more. Here's to the next 70 years. Call 800-4COIT or visit coit.com today.
All right, we want to thank Rich Letman and Coit over there. One thing we do have to correct is that their phone number on that commercial is our 800. That's a nationwide number. To contact them locally, call 928-704-9100. And I also need to clarify, Dave and I did not call each other to make sure that we were wearing the same colors.
No, I think the general rule of thumb is that really, really smart people wear blue on Thursdays.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. Thursday blue. Thursday is a blue day. All right, we got a few more things that we're gonna talk about. Softball leagues. Can you tell me where we're at? I saw a release not too long ago about senior co-ed and ladies leagues and men's leagues, or tournaments anyway. Can you tell us where we're at on that right now?
Yeah, everything's kind of happening right now. Our senior softball tournament this year is going to be run by a group out of Las Vegas called Las Vegas Senior Softball, and it's nice that we have partnered with them. Nice first and foremost because they do a lot of work, and I appreciate that.
Take it off your plate. Yep, good.
But even nicer because they have a wide scope. They used to do tournaments in Vegas. Before COVID, do tournaments in Vegas of up to 600 teams. Okay. So when they come here, they're everybody knows that they're here and they'll want to sign up, and people love coming to Bullhead. So that's the exciting thing about senior softball. It's coming up in March. Adult softball that's been run by kind of a group of players now. We've started a board for Tri-State softball, and Jimmy Reyes is kind of a guy that's been playing on our leagues for years. He's also involved in senior softball, and he works real closely with USSSA softball, and he's decided, we weren't doing things because of COVID. And I've said that word too many times on this show already, but he wanted to step up and take on the liability and put together a plan to keep everybody safe and start running a league a little bit before we were able to start running a league, just using our fields. And he did a great job. They've done a men's league and a co-ed league already. They're taking registration for men's and co-eds for this upcoming season, and that should be starting, I think, next week. Wow. And then the girls softball, we've got our local girls. It's not ASA anymore. It's just Bullhead City Girls Recreational Softball, and that's run by Sam and Duarte. Sam Duarte.
Yeah, I know Sam.
And he has done a good job of, saving up money from running the snack bar, and he saved up so much that they are giving it away for free this year for kids. So every girl can play softball for free. They've been having open fields lately while they're taking sign-ups, and gosh, there's no reason not to be involved in softball in Bullhead City.
I have three granddaughters, two of them that have been playing for several years, and one that's getting ready to play. in no hesitation, saying that two of them are the two best softball players in the community.
I'm sure.
At their age. A little biased.
Not at all.
But yeah, it's a great program down there. It's so much fun to go down there and watch them play all the different leagues as they're growing up, and it's especially fun to watch, them in coach pitch or something, and then watch them progress to where they're out there on their mound pitching and they're hitting fastballs and all that. It's so much fun. Also have participated in the men's and the men's league and the co-ed leagues, and it's very well put together. Has been for years. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
That's awesome. Any other things going on in Parks and Rec that we should be? I know that you're working on some projects that you can't divulge, but here, let me just cover that. Go ahead and tell me.
Well, just between you and me, John.
Yeah, nobody's watching.
The summer's going to be amazing. I mean, I really hope we have COVID starting to get really behind us, because we've got some big plans at the parks. Last summer, gosh, when we were restricting entrance into the parks, we were just hammered by people coming in from California and from Nevada and just really wanting to be.
I need to be out in the air and do something. Yeah.
And so that went really well. And just with how well that went with us restricting it, also you toss in the growth that we were already seeing the season before. Mm-hmm. It's going to be amazing this year. And we've got lots of big plans to make things even bigger and better at Community Park and Rotary Park.
See, he's gonna be a politician, right? Yeah. You see how I asked him and he gave me a nice long answer? Didn't say a word. Didn't say a word about what's going on.
He just ran you around the bush.
Yep.
But you're intrigued, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now I want to know. And I think that one of the things that we have to understand is we looked at the tax situation last year, and we were figuring that, wow, with COVID again, ding ding ding. I'm glad this isn't a drinking game. Yeah.
Right.
With that, we really thought that we were going to get hammered real bad on sales tax in the city, but sales tax did really well still, not quite where we needed to be, but a lot better than it was projected. And I think that what we need to understand is that when you have these teams coming in from California, they bring a lot of money with them, and they spend a lot of money in our community, at our stores and restaurants and gas stations and all that. So the more people that we can have come in for these events, leave their money and then head back home, I think that's I sometimes come off as really kissing up to our guests, but I think that when you look at what the Park and Recreation does in our community, and I know a couple of years ago you were challenged by Toby that I want something every weekend, and up until COVID hit, we had that.
Yeah.
Sometimes 2 or 3 things every
That's
weekend. Right. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Still looking for a recreation manager?
Actually, it just closed yesterday. The position closed yesterday, and hopefully
we'll
we'll
send my application in today too.
Just missed it. I'm sorry. Well, I'll keep that in the back of the mind. If none of these work out, I'll start looking at applications tomorrow.
Good. And Jackie Walker's been serving as the interim for a while now.
She has. It's been great to have her. She's been really, really supportive, and with the missing recreation superintendent, or excuse me. I'm the superintendent.
Wait,
supervisor.
Where'd Dave go?
we were down one supervisor for a time, and Margaret Young was basically getting everything I had. I was just throwing it all at her. So to have Jackie come in and help us out for a few months was a big help for us.
I've worked with Jackie, obviously, with the Chamber of Commerce, and man, I just loved being able to go, I need your help, and I get emails every day. What do you think of this? What do you think about that? For the Taste of Bullhead, and she was awesome. So don't let her go, or she'll be gone. Scooped up in a second.
Yeah, Toby's a pretty big fan of hers too.
Good,
so.
Good. Well, if you got Toby and Dave Heath on your side, you're in good shape. I have one more thing to ask you.
Okay.
You're a big basketball guy. The whole family are basketball people. So what is your prediction for the NBA this year? Who's going to win it all?
So you're asking me who's going to be playing the Suns in the championship, okay?
Really?
Yeah.
Suns?
Gosh, they're on a roll right now. Devin Booker is the man.
They played my boys, the Milwaukee Bucks, last night, and they beat them
in overtime.
Even though my man, the Greek Freak, scored like 47.
Yeah.
They still got them. So I guess I could see the Suns making it there. Yes. Who's going to play them in the finals?
Right now, I'm thinking the Sixers. I think
Really?
Doc Rivers was exactly what they needed to put them over the top because they've got a good group of young talent. It's just a matter of getting it all together. So.
And they've been improving over the last couple of years. And
Trust the process.
Trust the process. All right, you heard it from the coach here. All right, everyone. That's it for Valley Voices. Dave, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming down.
Been a pleasure. Thanks, John.
Remember, this is brought to you by Coit. Coit has independently certified technicians who clean, protect, and preserve carpets, upholstery, floors, natural stone surfaces, air ducts, tile and grout, and more. Call them today for more information or to book an appointment at 928-704-9100. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This is our first time doing it live, and we were able to keep Dave from cursing online, so we're really excited about that. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.